G'day everybody and welcome to Andrew's Art and Models. Today we have another one of the old school cool kit reviews for you. This is the Sprockets 4, which is basically a Sprockets 3 superstructure placed onto the hull of a Panzer IV. And yeah, I've looked at this kit many times over the years and I've never actually gotten off my backside to purchase it. So now is the perfect time. Right, let's have a look. Decent box art, very simple. Nothing fancy there. Right. Now, how old is this kit? Well, if you have a look on the inside here, that says 1975. So this kit is older than I am, and that is saying something. Like all the Tamiya kits to this vintage, it's got the positioning and everything for the motors and all the little holes in the hull for the on and off and all that sort of jazz. So you will need to tidy those up if it's going to bother you. But otherwise, just build it straight as it is. The molding is quite nice. There's that typical little tab on the bottom there which needs to be fixed. But overall, the molding on this kit is beautiful. There's a couple of little marks from being bounced around the box, but nothing too bad. Now, there's no sink marks, no flash on any of those parts, or that part, the whole lower hull, so it is all nice. The upper hull and superstructure. So, is this, for the sake of being a river counter, is this 100% accurate? No. Does it have issues? Yes. But it is a great kit to start your tank building on. It is nicely detailed. It is very well priced. And you can see here, the mold quality is really good. So I have one little mark here. And that looks like a little tiny bit of raised plastic there. Which we need to fix, but otherwise pretty decent. Tiny little bit of flash, but you wouldn't complain about this if it was another kit at all, would you? It's decent quality. There are a few weld seams and things on here that are missing, so if you want to really do your research and have a play around with making those, this is a good kit to start that on as well. But otherwise, it's quite good, and I am pretty much going to build this out of the box, I think. I don't see any reason as to why I need to change that. Barrel, 2 parts, pretty standard. We've got the cover there for the muzzle. That is the, now, I'm not even going to pronounce it in German because my German sucks, but I think it's a pig's head mantle, they used to call it. Pigs, yeah, but that there. Now, typically on more common ones, on newer ones, you'll see a bit of cast detail added to the surface there, so that's something you can certainly do with a bit of Tamiya putty if it's really bothering you. Additional armor put on, tracks, little crew figure, it's pretty standard. Yeah, it's all nicely molded. The gun detail is showing its age a little bit, as in the MG. It's showing its age a little bit. It looks fairly simplistic, but all of the parts are well made. Most, if not all, of the injection ports are all hidden. It is quite nice. So you get a couple of injection pin marks up under here. But that will be at the back of the hull and have the tracks up against it. So you're not likely to see that there. If it is going to bother you, then just fill them beforehand just to make sure. But it's not a huge job. It is a simple build. Right, Schürzen. So this is the armor plates, the skirts that goes along the side of the vehicle. And you can actually see on these parts here, now these it's for a different variant, they go on the front of the hull. They're meant to be cast out of cement, so they've actually gone on the trouble of making those look quite rough, and they look quite good. I think that's a decent effect. The shirts in itself, it's a little on the thick side, but it's, what, 45-year-old kit, so it's I'm a little on the thick side and I'm 40, so I think that's allowable. I've done this setup before. I've used this setup before on their Panzer IV. It's virtually identical and it goes together quite well. So tiny bit fiddly, but there's very little cleanup and the fit is excellent. All right, on to the road wheels and the dry sprockets and the idler wheels. So we have very simple molding once again, nicely detailed. And you'll see there really isn't much you're going to hear me saying this a lot when I review Tamiya kits, but there really isn't much to clean up on these. There's not a heck of a lot to do at all. There's a couple of seam lines, things like that you need to do, but that's pretty standard. Very simple build. My only gripe about these is it's really got the simple road wheels. They look a bit shallow, but for a kit that's 45 years of age, that's really good. So this would have been excellent when it came out, and it's still a decent kit today, and certainly great for the price that you pay. A little bit of flash on some of these parts, but not too bad. If you're like me and you like painting the Panzer IVs, but you don't like necessarily doing the rubber on every one of the road wheels. So we've got, what have we got? 16 road wheels on each side, so what, 32 on the vehicle. Yeah, it is a bit of a nightmare. So it gets a bit tedious. I have gone out and bought myself a painting mask specifically for that. So this little doodad here I can use, and I'll paint them black, I believe, place them in, and then spray from that side, and that'll cover up the black, and I don't have to worry about painting them all by hand. It's a bit of a nightmare when it comes to these tanks, but that is a good little trick. Let's see if it works. Next, and the last sprue. So we have the rear of the vehicle. That's all pretty standard Panzer IV. Molding, once again, really, really nice. Exhaust system, very simple, very nice. Spare wheels, all the tools and other components for the tank. Nothing really stands out there as any issues, and it all looks quite reasonable. Typical Tamiya, you've got a double set of instructions. In this one, they've got a few other building tips and things on their little guide here, which is translated, which is not too bad. That's all right. Can't complain about any help. And a little bit of a blurb on the vehicle, per normal. Sprue count, and all the instructions for construction. Very basic, simple, easy to do. Put together, not a problem. The gun shield, it's another part that's kind of showing its age a little bit. I think I'll probably put it in the closed position this time when I build it, as opposed to up. I think it's going to look a bit better. But well, I did that on the Panzer IV, not this actual Panzer, but the Panzer IV. And yeah, I think I'll probably do that this time, just see how it goes. And that'll also get rid of the MG with the soft details on it, with a sort of average detail too. So it'll get rid of that and kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. That's the installation of the Scherzen. It's really simple, just a couple of hooks down the sides, and then it just plops on top there. You can definitely, if you want to mix this up, you can damage those, you can cut them and remove them, you can do whatever you want. They are quite solid and will stand up to a bit of punishment. So alternatively, if you really wanted to, you could replace them with some thinner card or something like that, but I'm not going to bother. Simple paint schemes, but there are plenty of paint schemes for these vehicles. These were reasonably common towards the latter part of the war. Now, these little guys look all right. Standard Tamiya. So possibly a little bit on the thick side, but as I said before, I've never had a problem with them. They seem to go down really well for me, so I haven't got an issue with that. We have our polycaps, so pretty normal. And last, but by no means least, we have our rubber tracks or vinyl tracks. So love them, hate them, they're in here. And once again, I didn't have much of a problem with these when I did it the first time around when I built the Panzer IV, so I'm quite happy to use those, not a problem. And let's go back to where we began. Right, STUG 4, 135 scale, Tamiya, old school cool, 1975. Is it worth what you pay for it these days? 100%. It is definitely still a worthy kit. The mold's been well looked after and obviously updated and changed and taken care of, so no issues there really. There's a couple of small issues with the vehicle, but it's 45 years of age. You know, I wish I had as few issues as this thing does. Yeah, definitely I'd be going out there and buying that. It is a good vehicle. It'll go together well and it'll look excellent on display. Good for beginner modelers as well. So with that, thumbs up. I'm going to call it a day on this one. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this kit or any others on my channel, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you've got. Don't forget, we do monthly scale model giveaways on our channel, and that's announced at the beginning of the month. So hit the bell icon if you're new here, so you'll get notification of when a new video comes out and what the giveaways will be and when we do build videos and all of the above. We're very, very busy here, so it's good. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next one.